Hi Year 2! Welcome to this week's maths lesson. I am super lucky to be teaching you maths this week. Before we get started, a huge, great big well done to all of you that have sent work in, that have done work on My Maths and MathShed and any of the maths challenges that you've done this week. Super big well done. Have a look at our top mathematicians on MathShed this week. Now for this week's learning objective, which is... And while we're talking about MathShed, you might want to head over there now. Because this is our last lesson of the year, we're going to be starting by having a quiz that looks at lots of different aspects of maths that we've covered in Year 2. So you might want to have a look at division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, problem solving, and that's our learning objective today, to solve problems, looking at telling the time, fractions and money. Or you could pause on this screen and have a quick your turn to remind yourself of the different ways that we do things in Year 2. Come back in a few minutes for a check, or when you've played some of those My Maths or MathShed games, and I'll tell you how to get to our quiz. Off you go. There are two many questions at the bottom, this one here, and if you'd like an extra spicy challenge, this one here. Off you go. Okay, I hope you've had a go, played some games or had a go at our your turn. Here's time for a check. So 10 divided by 2, we know when we're dividing we are sharing. We're looking at equal groups, so I'm going to divide those 10 into 2 equal groups. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's have a look and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that side. So I've got 2 equal groups. Each of them has 5. Or remember the way that we've done it in our heads, reading it as how many 2's go into 10. So if we count in 2's to check, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We can check that we were right because we've counted 5 2's and got to 10. Okay, 2 times 5. I know you can count in 2's, so let's do that one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 2's are 10. And hopefully you spotted that here we've got the inverse. 2 5 times is 10, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. I wonder if you can think of what the other division sentence would be to go with that. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Well done. Okay, 27 add 14. Now, we might be able to do that in our heads, but I'm going to use our chips and peas. So we've got 2 10's here, so I'm going to draw those nice and big. And we've got 7 1's. Again, I'm going to draw them nice and big. I like to draw them in 2's. My class will know this, so that I can count and check them easily. So we've got 2, 4, 6, and one more is 7. Now I'm going to add the other number. So one more 10. I'm going to put it over here. And we need 4 more 1's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count it up to check. 10, 20, 30. So our 10's digit is 30. Okay, so let's count it up to check. 10, 20, 30. Then we're on to our 1's. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And one more is 41. So we've got a 4 for our 10's and a 1 in our 1's. 41. Okay, next. 33 subtract 12. Okay, again, you might be able to do this one in your head. I'm going to use my chips and peas. So I've got to draw 33. 10, 20, 30, and then my 1's, 3 1's. This time I'm not adding more on, I'm taking them away. So let's pop that T in and the O at the top to remind us. So this time I'm taking away 1 10, so I'm going to get rid of 1, and I'm taking away 2 1's. Cross those out too. Now let's count what's left to find the answer. 10, 20, 21. 21 is my answer. Okay, Next one is a word problem, so I need to remember my rucksack method. So let's read it. How many pencils if each pencil case has 10? So we've got pencil cases down here. Each of them has 10. So I know I've got 10. How many times? 3 times. Let's count in our tens. 10, 20, 30. And remember, a good way to remember our tens numbers is that they are all friendly. We can draw that smiley face inside. Okay, just a couple more. So what's the time on this clock? So looking at the long hand, it's pointing to the 6, which I know means 1/2 Now this is where the tricky bit is. The short hand, the hour hand, is just between the 3 and 4. So it is 3. Well done. Okay, now we've got 2 fractions questions. So here, this one is showing me 2 equal groups. Only one of them is shaded. So I know I've got 1 as my numerator. And then my denominator is telling me how many groups there are. Altogether, I've got 2 equal groups. So this is showing me a half. This one, again, I've got 1 shaded, but there are 4 equal groups. So it is a quarter. Right, now for the money ones. I've got a 50p, a 10p, and a 5p. We might want to write those down. 50, add 10, add 5, but I'm pretty sure we can have a go at doing it in our head. So 50, add 10 more, 50, 60, add the 5 is 65p. Our final one. Now this one is a tricky one because we've got pounds and pence. So instead of using the P, you should have used the pound sign. And let's see how much we've got. We know we've got a £10 note, so we've got 10. And we've got 1 more pound coin, so we've got £11. And we have to remember to use that decimal point because now we're going to count the pence. We've got a 50 and a 20. 50 and 20. Well, I know 5 and 2 is 7. So 50 and 20, easy must be 70. Add 5 more is 75. And because I've got my pound sign, I don't need my P at the end. Okay, hopefully you got all of those right. If not, hopefully this has jogged your memory a little bit. And now I'm going to tell you where to go to get to our quiz. So to take part in our quiz and have a little bit of fun solving problems, go to the link on our parent mail. You could use the Kahoot app or you can go to kahoot.it and use the code in the middle of the page to have a go at our Kahoot Picture It quiz. Good luck and let us know how you got on. So our learning objective to solve problems today, but we're thinking about the things that we already know and thinking about what we've just done with our quiz to help us. So we've got a number here. What number is it? You're right, number 6, isn't it? But your challenge now is to come up with different problems where the answer is 6. So it's going to be my turn first. So I'm going to think about what I already know about the number 6. Well, I know that it is 1 more than 5. So if I wanted to show it as an addition sentence, I could show it really easily as 5 plus 1. 5 and 1 more is 6. Okay. But I also want to show it as a subtraction. If I'm going to think about a subtraction sentence, I've got to start with a bigger number than 6. So I'm going to think about things that I already know. And I know easily my number bonds to 10. I know my number bonds to 20. So I'm going to think about, let's start with 20. Okay. So what do I take away from 20 to get to 6? Well, I know if it was a number bond to 10, I would have to 6 and 4 make 10. So if I took 4 away from 10, I would get 6. But I've got 20. So I know I've got to subtract 14. 20 subtract 14 is 6. So remembering my number bonds will help me to remember my addition and my subtraction. Now I'm going to have a go at a multiplication. So I've got to think about times tables that I know 6 is in. So could it be my 5s? Let's try it. 5, 10, 15. No. Could it be 2s? 2, 4, 6. How many 2s? 3. So I could write 2 times 3, or 2 3 times is 6. Which of our operations am I missing? You're right, it's there. Divide, division. So again, I'm going to think about my times tables. Now I know 2 times 3 is 6. So I know that 6 is in the 2 times table. But I've got to choose a bigger number if I'm going to make it division, if I'm going to do some sharing. So let's see what other numbers are in the 2 times table. Bigger than 6. Okay. 2, 4, 6. Let's try 3 more. 8, 10, 12. Double 6 is 12. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. So if I know 6 times 2 is 12, then I know 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, let's have a your turn now with another number. Okay, your turn with the number 10. Have a go and come back in a few minutes to have a little bit of a check. Hey, hopefully you were able to come up with an addition, subtraction, multiplication and a division. I had a go at finding all the ones I could. Because we've got 10, I know we know our number bonds to 10 really well. So you could have come up with any of these. With our subtractions, again, I started with those facts that I know really well. 20 subtract 10. And then I tried to think of a strategy. I know we've worked on that quite a lot in year 2. And adding one more here, which means I've got to take off one more here. So 21 subtract 11, 22 subtract 12, 23 subtract 13, and so on. Or the number facts that I already know. So I know 1 more than 10 is 11. So 11 subtract 1 is 10. Okay, again, with my multiplication facts, I wonder what you can see in my multiplication sentences and whether you came up with similar. So I had 2 times 5, 2, 5 times, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then I know that I can turn that around. That I then have 5 times 2, 5, 2 times, 5, 10. And I did the same again over here, 10 times 1 and 1 times 10, turning it around. With my division, again, I thought about my number facts. I know 10 is in the 10 times table. So 20 divided by 2 would be 10. If I took 10 and counted it in tens 2 times, I should get 20 to check using my multiplication to check. So 10, 20, then here we've divided it by 3, so I can go 10, 20, 30. And then again, 100 divided by 10 would be 10. Okay, so let's think a little bit more about these as we have a go at our next number. Okay, so I know one of the other challenges this week is to start to tell your new teacher all about you. And our maths is going to help with that today. So here we've got a problem. Letters in your name. How many letters are in your name? Well, it's my turn first. So letters in my name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I could write the number 9. Easy. But we're not going to make it that easy. We're going to see if we can come up with different ways to show that number. So the first thing I can do is use my chips and peas. So if I think about the number 9, has it got any chips? Are there any 10s? No. So all I need to do is 9 ones. And you know I'm going to do it in 2s to make it easy to count and easy to check back. So, hold on. So I'm going to draw them in 2s to make sure it's easy to count and easy to check back. So here we go. Okay, I think I've got it right, but let's check it back. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1 more is 9. So I've shown it with my ones. How else could I show it? Now I'm going to use my addition sentence. So what do I know about 9? Well, 8 and 1 more is 9. I know my number bonds to 9. So if I took 5, how many more would I need to count on to get to 9? 5 and Hopefully you got 4. 5 and 4 is 9. Now I need a subtraction. What do I know about 9? Well, I know if I think about my number bonds, I'm going to start with 20. If I took 20, if I took 10, it would be 10. So I know I need to take away one more. So 20 subtract 11 is 9. Or let's not make it too easy for your new teachers. Let's leave the answers off. Okay, now I need multiplication. Let's see, is 9 in the 2 times table? Let's try it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. No. 10s. No. 5s. 5, 10. No. One of the other times tables that some of us have been working on is our 3 times table. So let's try that one. 3, 6, 9. So how many 3s? 1, 2, 3. So 3 times makes my number. Okay, so we've got an addition, subtraction, multiplication. Now I need a division. So I'm going to do what I did in the beginning. I'm going to double that number. Okay, because then I know the opposite will be dividing by 2. So double 9, double this, double that. 9 and 9 is 18. So 18 divided by 2 will be 9. And if I want to do a quick check to make sure my maths is super, I can take my 9, I can count in 2s, so 9 2 times or 2 9 times, and I should get 18. So let's try it. So I should have 9, I'm going to count in 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I was right. Okay, you have a go now. So now time for your turn. Write your name and count how many letters there are. Then see if you can, as a 1 chili, write it and draw it showing the 10s and the 1s, or chips and peas. And as a challenge, think about the number facts you know. Could you write it as an addition sentence? For a 2 chili, you're going to write addition and subtraction number sentences, remembering to see if you can show more than one. So if you know 5 and 4 is 9, showing also 4 and 5 is 9. And as a 3 chili, you're going to see if you can write an addition, subtraction, multiplication and division sentence, thinking about the number facts that you know, and maybe even thinking of a different way to show it, perhaps with a word problem. Off you go. Well done, and time for your turn. So there are some challenges today. Maths about me. So to go with your information, your letter to year 3, to tell your new teacher all about you, we'd also like you to send some maths information. So there are things like, I am how many years old? So you're going to say, I am 6, 7 years old. And then it says, how many different ways can you make this number? So remembering your addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, if you can, accept that challenge too. And then it says my birthday is, and you're going to think about the date your birthday is on. And whatever number the day is, then you're going to see how many different ways you can make that number or show that number too. It says your phone number, your house number, and then asks you about how many people are in your family. There's a space in the middle for a picture of you. You might even want to be really mathematical with that too and make it out of shapes perhaps. Chili Challenge 3 asks you to complete this challenge, but there are also some challenges that involve measure and time as well. So if you're up for that challenge, then all of these will be emailed on Parent Mail and you can choose which one you'd like to have a go at. So for the last time in year 2, have a really good go at your maths challenge, and I look forward to seeing your work sent to our year 2 email. Take care and enjoy.